Well, alrighty. Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. It's digital host AJ Wuest here, welcoming you back to Before the Four. Of course, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. I say it each and every day, wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your Monday afternoon here. Well, we do not have weather this afternoon on Before the Four. It will, of course, be in our evening newscast, but also make sure to tune in tonight for 48 First Alert Weather Extra. That's at 9:30. You can watch it wherever you're watching Before the Four right now, but we'll have First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis. He'll be back here in the streaming center. He'll go through the radar, everything you need to know as we dive in to this work week. A very cold start to the work week, no doubt about it. But if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, Brad will see those questions and he will work to find that answer for you. So get your weather tonight on 48 First Alert Weather Extra at 9:30. But now let's jump into some of the day's top news stories and moving over to Huntsville, where a 71-year-old's body was found yesterday near the campus of Oakwood University. Now, the body was found near the Oakwood Farms Market. The university says the person is not affiliated with Oakwood as a student or an employee. Now, the coroner believes the person died from hyperthermia and no foul play is expected at this time. Authorities are continuing to investigate. And staying in Huntsville, the man killed in a multi-car crash yesterday morning has now been identified. Authorities say 26-year-old Zachary Wolf was killed in a wreck just after 5 a.m. yesterday on Research Park Boulevard near Plummer Road. Authorities are still investigating this crash and will have all the latest both online and on air as we learn more. But now in DeKalb County, where a former Henniger police officer is taking a plea deal for distributing child pornography. Joshua Kwan, that's who you're seeing on screen, he was arrested last year on 5 counts of distributing child porn. He was later terminated from the Henniger Police Department. Today, he pled guilty to a lesser charge of attempted child porn distribution. Kwan will spend the next 3 years in prison, followed by a 3-year probation. And 48's Will Eldridge will have all the latest coming up in our evening newscasts. But with that, we are going to take a short break, but coming up, a few stories in case you missed them that you're just not going to want to miss. Details on a Huntsville Veterans Museum expanding and all the latest this Black History Month. It's all ahead. We'll go through it all in just 1 minute. All right, break time over, y'all. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Before the Four. Now let's take a look at how the Huntsville Veterans Museum is expanding, with a new facility going up that will double its current size. 48's Faith Delp tells us all about the museum and its significance here in the Rocket City community. Let's take a look.
They have come on and really made a dream come true for many of us that are here, that have worked here.
Scott Thompson is the deputy director at the U.S. Veterans Memorial Museum. He served for 30 years as an Army aviator, and his dream of a brand new home for these artifacts will soon be a reality.
What we have here at our current facility, this is an old aircraft hangar. We have packed it to, you couldn't fit anything else in here right now.
Some aviation items will stay in the current building, but everything else is moving, and Thompson is helping put together a new layout.
The new facility, brand new facility, we're going to be able to spread out. We have 15 other pieces of equipment that are being stored off-site that we're going to be able to put into the new museum. So it's not just going to be the stuff that's here in the old museum, in the new museum.
This museum is filled with more than artifacts for Thompson. He started volunteering here in 2014 and was hooked. He was fascinated by the collection here, from the first ever Ford prototype.
This Jeep right here is kind of our, it's the most unique piece of equipment that we have here in the museum.
To a restored model of the exact helicopter he flew.
They spent almost a year restoring this to this condition here. So one of my favorite things in the museum here is the Cobra helicopter.
To equipment ready to run at a moment's notice.
About 80% of the equipment here, you can get in and start it up and drive it out the door.
5 months into the expansion, and Thompson says this expansion is exciting and couldn't be done without the support from the city.
It's very exciting, a little bit scary because we are an all-volunteer organization. So there's a lot to do in the next year.
The new building will still be here at John Hunt Park, more than double the size of the current facility. They plan to open the doors here in early spring of 2027. Reporting in Huntsville, Faith Delp 48 News, on your side.
And now this Black History Month, we've been shining a light on several local businesses, business leaders, and landmarks here in North Alabama. And one you've probably heard of is G's Country Kitchen here in Huntsville. Noah Cowell reports on the history of this thriving restaurant. Let's take a look.
Maurice Russell and his wife Greta started G's Country Kitchen on Oakwood Avenue 30 years ago this April. Named after Greta, this soul food spot in the middle of the Rocket City has thrived every year since, with signature dishes like pork chops, turkey and gravy, and also an atmosphere where everyone who walks through that door can feel welcome.
It's very important to me to go around and make sure people are good to go. A lot of these people that we've been serving for a long time, man, you know, when they was bringing their kids here when they was babies, now they grown up, so they return. When you treat people right, you don't have to advertise. Your customers advertise for you. And that's what you see a lot of times with the repeat customer we have here.
As a Black-owned restaurant, Russell reflects on how much our world has changed since the day he opened those doors.
The things that we wasn't allowed to do back then, man, you know, has opened the door for us to be more proud of where we come from and the things that we do. And then to see the diverse crowd that we have, man, you know, things are changing.
Russell's dedication to serve and befriend all his customers has kept many like True Love Sandiver coming back for over 20 years.
Maurice is always so personable, and all of his staff, and it seemed like it's a family environment, and they treat you like your family when you walk in.
Many of the staff members are actually family. Maurice's daughter works the cash register, and his grandson is a cook. The plan is to pass the torch to them and keep the restaurant's presence alive in Huntsville for decades to come.
It says that Black people are here, Black people are going to be around, that Black people are profitable, and that they love being in their community.
Reporting in Huntsville, Noah Cowell, 48 News, on your side.
Some good eats out there at G's Country Kitchen. Awesome story. Love it. And now let's go into the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. A woman convicted of animal cruelty in Colbert County facing a judge earlier today. Aria Pons will have all the details coming up. Details on a man charged in a Huntsville shooting death, pleading guilty to manslaughter. And finally, Charles Bediaco filing an appeal to play the rest of the season in an Alabama uniform. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. And y'all, it is that time. It is time for Facebook fun. And I see we have a comment on Facebook right now from Miss Roberta Smart. She says, "Good evening, everyone." Great evening to you, Roberta. Thank you so much for tuning in to Before the Four today. So our Facebook fun question today, our Facebook question of the day. What's your all-time favorite movie quote? And I don't know if I have an all-time favorite. I have a lot of honorable mention quotes. A couple from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a couple from Fight Club. But what I want to know is what's your favorite movie quote? And let's see what you all had to say. You always have great comments, so let's just dive into it. Nobody puts baby in a corner. That is from Jennifer Grissom. And that is, of course, from the film Dirty Dancing. Great choice there, Jennifer. Carrie said, "You're killing me, Smalls." One of my all-time favorite movies there, The Sandlot. I love that movie so much. I love baseball. Kevin said, "Are you serious, Clark?" Of course, from Family Vacation. My favorite Christmas movie. I will definitely give it that. Awesome quote there. Sarah said, "I'll be your Huckleberry." A very iconic quote there. I cannot speak today for some reason. Sabrina said, "You can't handle the truth." And of course, that one is from A Few Good Men. Awesome comments as always, and there's plenty more to choose from. We might continue this question to tomorrow's Before the Four, so there's still time to leave a comment of your all-time favorite movie quote. It is on Facebook right now. Just leave a comment and you might get shouted out in tomorrow's Before the Four. But as always, you all have super awesome comments. But y'all, that is just about all the time I have for today's Before the Four. But as always, thank you for spending a bit of your afternoon here. I hope you all enjoy our evening newscasts. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.